Okay, hi, it's Linda of YamStamps, and I'm showing you how to do a die cut edge card that I shared on my blog today. And the reason that I'm doing a Facebook Live is because sometimes it's easier to just show you than to actually talk you through it. Though the instructions are somewhat there on the blog on YamStamps.com, so you can check that out. In the meantime, let's show you the card. So here we have the die cut edge card. So it's coordinating the inside and the outside images. Now, if you wanted just to make this a lot easier, if you didn't want the die cut part, you could just put the flower portion on the outside of the card too. So that's another way to make it a little easier on yourself. So I'm using the Stamparatus grid paper, and what I've done here is I've marked on it, I've already stamped on the grid paper just so I can see where my image will be, and I've marked where I want my paper edge to be. So I cut this so it is, turn it this way so you can see it. It is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, so it's a top fold card. I put a marking where my edge of my cardstock should be, and that's with where the image is lined up on my Stamparatus plates. So I'm using So Saffron, and one of the hints that they gave us with these definitely distinctive stamps is sometimes if your ink pad is a little on the drier side, it's not too juicy, it's easier to get a lot of the definition showing up. So one of the ways to keep the ink from being too juicy on your ink pad is just by rubbing the ink into the surface of the pad. So I'm just using a plastic spoon that I have and just pushing that in. Some people use their bone folders, and then you can wipe that off after. So what I'm going to do is just stamp my image first. So I've got the image on the top plate. I'm just going to stamp that. And I've got my magnet holding everything in place. That was there before, but we can pretend I just did it now if you want. And then I'm stamping the detailed part and the leaves in mint macaron. And I just put that on the second plate. And again, already lined up. And because these are photopolymer stamps, I do have the foam piece underneath here. All right, so my image is stamped. This is my magnetic platform, and I'm putting my plastic cutting sheet down, cutting plate down. So when this card is closed, so the image is going to be on the back. Okay, so we want to cut this edge, and you're kind of cutting blind, trying to figure out where everything should be to line up. So what you can do is, I have my grid sheet still. This is the same paper. And what I've done is, when I stamped the image here, I lined up my die, my framelit, with where it should be on the images, and then I just marked around the edge of the framelit there. I'm going to line up my paper the same way. So, edges of the paper where they should be, and then you can just see where the edge of the framelit should go. So I'm going to put that in place. And so you can be fancy and just trust that the magnetic platform will hold everything, or if you're a little paranoid, you can use a bit of adhesive tape or washi tape. And then what I just do is put it on my clothing a little bit to get it a little less sticky, and I'm just going to put it on the edge there. You know, I'm wearing dark pants. Can you tell? Can you see the lint on there? That's lovely. And then what I'm going to do is pull the sheet out, because you don't want to cut this. You want to be able to save it for future projects. And then, ta-da! I don't know, can you see? It's lined up. And you saw me do it live, so you know I wasn't faking it. So that is how I did the edge of that card. It's not as hard as it looks once you get it all lined up. So again, you have to make sure you put your image on your grid sheet, mark where the edges of your cardstock are going to be. Now, I didn't mark right on the lines. I needed a bit of room so I could see where the lines were. And then I marked around the edge of where the framelit would go. Okay, and then I can keep this as a reference sheet too, so I can use it for future projects when I want to do this same card again. For the rest of the card, I simply stamped and die cut the flower, and then I did my sentiment and I wrapped the ribbon. So yeah, sign up for my newsletter, please. Visit my blog, sign up for the Facebook page, join the Facebook group, you name it. There's lots of ways to keep in touch, and I'm always liking to share projects and tips and tricks that will make your crafting a little bit easier. If you have any questions about crafting, or if you have any things that you've been having issues with or troubles with in your crafting, drop me a message, leave me a comment. I'll see if I can maybe address it in a future Facebook Live. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and see you around cyberspace. Bye.